great to be back on The Real Deal. Now, I'm going to talk about what happened this last weekend at this property, 38 Kildare Street in Carina Heights. Now, that is a classic auction property in more ways than one. It has an amazing view, it has a definite point of difference, but the most important ingredient, in my opinion, in any auction campaign isn't so much the point of difference. It's more the fact that you've got a seller that is willing to meet the market. Now, we all know that when you go to a listing presentation, there's two questions you get asked. Number one is what's your commission, and number two is what's the price. Nobody knows what the price is. No one can ever guarantee what a price is going to be. We can give an idea, but we never really know. The beauty of an auction campaign is you let the market decide what they are prepared to pay, and if two or more are interested, they end up bidding against each other and it drives the price up. So in my opinion, it's the fairest, it's the most transparent way to determine the price, and it's a great way of telling buyers that this property is seriously for sale. Now, there's a lot of sellers, as we know, not so much in Brisbane, but where I used to work in a regional area, and they test the market. They go on the market with a ridiculous price, which is completely unrealistic, burn the poor agent, and they never had any intention of selling. They're just hoping to hook a southerner or to get someone that's uneducated. Now, you can't really be uneducated about the market in this day and age. There's so many sales, they're online, there's lots and lots of things you can do. We don't hold all the knowledge now. You guys have got a lot of knowledge now. You can do your own research, and if you don't know what something's worth, get a valuation. Find out from the bank what it's worth. So the point that I'm trying to make is, when we go to list a property, the seller's normally here, the buyer's normally there, and the agent's somewhere hovering in the middle, trying to get as close to that price as they can, because obviously we get paid by the seller. So at the auction at Kildare Street, we weren't quite sure what the price was going to be. We knew it would be a reasonably good price based on the fact that it was a view property, but we knew it would attract a lot of interest. And of course we did. We ended up with 6 registered bidders at the auction. We had 3 that bid. The opening bid was pretty low, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter where someone starts as an auction, because ultimately it will find its own level. Well, the bidding went to a lower level than the reserve, but what really surprised us about that was the seller was so willing to meet the market that when we took him aside and said, look, we've got to 780, what do you want to do? And he said, put it on the market. I want to sell. I've bought something and I can make it work. It's not what I wanted. I would have liked 20 or 30 grand more, but you know what? Just put it on the market and let's get it sold. And that's exactly what we did. We put it on the market, and suddenly there were 2 parties that both wanted the property. We would have had a third if the wife had been there. So the guy very bravely opened the bidding, but he couldn't go much higher than that because the wife wasn't there. So 2 people against each other. Awesome result, ended up selling it for $835,000. Why? Because the seller was prepared to meet the market. So in my opinion, the best ingredient for a great auction is a motivated seller that is prepared to meet the market. I'm always happy to chat to you about your property. So if you want to talk, you've got my details below.